As a result of the Second World War, the economic condition in England deteriorated. The people of England had grown weary of the war. Therefore, England was in great difficulty. Subhash Chandra Bose propagated the idea that the Indian National Congress should avail of this opportunity to start an armed agitation against the British. The British government felt threatened by this. The government arrested and imprisoned him. He started a fast unto death in his prison cell. Due to the deterioration of his health, he was later kept under house arrest at his Calcutta residence. He cleverly escaped in disguise from British custody, and when Subhash Chandra Bose made efforts to secure the help of the German government for the liberation of India. He tried to organize the Indians in Europe. He started the Azad Hind Radio Center in Berlin. He appealed to the Indians to take up arms against the British for India's freedom through the speeches he made from the radio station from time to time. Let's study more about Indian National Army. At that time, Raj Behari Bose, an Indian revolutionary, was in Japan. Japan had wrested Singapore, Malaysia, Burma, and other countries from the British. Raj Behari Bose had organized the Indians in these countries and had established the Indian Independence League. He established the Azad Hind Sena, Indian National Army, INA, by recruiting Indian soldiers of the British Army who had been captured by the Japanese. He invited Subhash Chandra Bose to accept the leadership of this army. Subhash Chandra Bose, after traveling thousands of kilometers across the seas from Germany, reached Tokyo. There, he accepted the leadership of the Indian National Army. He organized a women's regiment of the INA and named it the Rani Jhansi Regiment. Its leadership was in the hands of Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan. Janaki Thivi, Bela Dutt, and other women were members of this regiment. The Azad Hind Sarkar was set up under the presidentship of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. This government was recognized by countries like Japan, Germany, and Italy. The Azad Hind government took possessions of the islands of Andaman and Nicobar and hoisted their flag there. Andaman was named Shahid and Nicobar was named Swarajya. Now let's learn about Chalo Delhi. The INA gave a tough fight to the British Army, but it became impossible for them to continue their campaign. It began to rain heavily. It also became difficult. The INA had to retreat. On 18th August 1945, the plane carrying Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose crashed, and he died in the crash. The officers of the INA were captured while fighting against the British. In the court-martial, the INA officers were held guilty and were sentenced to life imprisonment. But there were strong demonstrations against the British government. In view of the public outrage, the government withdrew the sentence. Naval Uprising. The Indians in the British Navy and Air Force were greatly influenced by the INA. They began to feel that instead of serving the British, they too should rise in revolt for their motherland. On 18 February 1946, the Indian naval ratings on board the British warship Talwar, anchored in the Bombay docks, rose in revolt against the British government. They pulled down the Union Jack, the British flag that the ship was flying, and hoisted the Indian tricolour in its place. The Indian soldiers of the Air Force at Delhi, Lahore, Ambala and Meerut also struck work. The government issued orders asking them to return to work immediately or face disciplinary action. But it had no effect. The revolt against the British continued. At various places, the masses supported them. The Indian Army was the foundation of the British rule in India. But as that foundation became shaky, the British realized that their rule in India would not last long. let's get some extra information on Indian National Army. The motto of Indian National Army is faith, unity, sacrifice. Their battle cry is Chalo Delhi, and the flag is a tricolour with the chakra. Their emblem is the leaping tiger, and the words of salutations are Jai Hind.